Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Sean Higgs coming out here. It's Monday, the 3rd of November, and if it's a Money Monday, Doug Upstone and Chirimbes are joining me and you for some, I'm going to say free pick action. This is a little college basketball edition. So, you know what, we're going to Chip's excited. He's like, college basketball, it's football season. What are you talking about? College basketball we talk about in March. This is football season. I'm waiting. It comes so fast, Chip. But all right, well, I'm telling you right now, folks, it's probably going to be a long show, and it's who knows what we're going to be talking about because we'll probably drift off of college basketball eventually. But before we get to that, hit the like, share, subscribe, notification bell. You want to know when the free picks come out. College football, NFL, college basketball free picks will be coming. We got live show on the Football Friday Live, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, new time. It's 1:30. And, of course, on Saturday, Sunday, Chip Chirimbes and the Vegas Legends rolling with the free pick on Saturday, Sunday football action there for you. So, again, put that notification bell on. You don't want to miss any of the free picks. But free picks are great. We want to win them. Premium, top plays, mega bucks plays from Chip, Monday maulers from Doug, cold ice, whatever his ice names are for Mr. Ice and Mr. Hoops. They will all be on gamblersworld.net. That's where you find our best bets, top plays. 3 7:30 packages guaranteed. The 3 7:30 packages, all sports included, which at this time of year, you got both basketballs going, both footballs going, hockey going. What am I missing? I mean, it's no more baseball.
CFL, I think the CFL playoffs are right around the corner.
CFL, again, things we care about. We won't be talking about the CFL. We'll talk about other things about that. Get the monthly pass as well. Guaranteed, show you the profit. We credit you back. You can't beat those 3 7:38 packages. Best bang for your buck, folks. Best bang for your bucks. All sports included. Guaranteed to show you profit, or we credit you back. Now, all right, so a lot to talk. We're going to talk some college basketball, and if we kind of like somebody for a future or just teams we like or just roundabout discussion, we have a bunch of games going on. I'm happy that I cashed my Queens under already to start the year. Nice.
Hey, you can't go undefeated. You can't go undefeated unless you win the first game. So,
St. Bonaventure wins 69-63 here. By the way,
what was the number?
2. I think it was 1.5. I think the Bradley was favored by 1.5, maybe.
So the first upset of the year is what you're saying.
Bradley Bridge. Well, I've only played one game, Doug.
No, there was another game earlier.
Was there?
Yes.
Yeah, we had an 8 o'clock game.
8, yeah.
Queens in Wofford played.
Well, and I'm from normal parents.
Come on, those are the best. Queens, Carolina. All right, so we got some college basketballs here now. I am not a huge future right out of the gate like November betting championship stuff with college basketball. One, I don't even know who's on these teams right now. Like, okay, I have my blue ribbon. I go through my little things. You know who's there. But I say that in a term of you want to see how teams kind of go, right? I mean, you'll be reading about NCAA granting eligibility to guys in December. You don't really know. I kind of jump into this a little later in the season, December-ish. You kind of get a feel for a team. You kind of like a team. I thought about not thinking about moving on one, but the one team I kind of like outside of the it's not even outside the box because they are a popular team is Texas Tech, and it's kind of like the Florida play for last year. If I'm going to take a team to win, I want to take it out of a conference that they're going to battle. Right, you might have a couple losses, maybe you have a great year and have one loss in that kind of conference. You're like, wow, they're just that dominant. But you want them to have good competition to see what kind of team you have. And that kind of fits the bill when you're playing in the Big 12, right? Kansas is supposed to be really good this year. Houston is a pretty good program themselves. So I'm going to look for a team out of the Big 12 or the SEC to maybe make that deep run. Again, haven't moved on any of them. And we do have some odds here. So Houston and Purdue were the odds on face here, plus 950. Kentucky, here they come, 13-1, UConn 13-1, Duke 14, Michigan 15, Florida, your defending champs, BYU with their big big rookie, whatever freshman they got, St. John's and the 73-year-old Ricky Pitino should be on the show here. Fit right in our age group. Kansas 220 there. Arkansas 2,500. Next 25-1. St. John's here with Pitino. This is a group, and I'm a Johnny old school Boo Harvey guy. I Chris Moan and them. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on St. John's. I'd love to see them get back on top because that'd be a kind of like a redemption story for him. I don't know though. I mean, I think it's tricky for them. And again, this is November. Who knows what the brackets are going to be? Do you guys have anything? Maybe you got a little further down the road for a national champion. Chip, I know you're chomping at the bit here. You probably got 4 or 5 picks.
I'm just saying, I agree with you. At the beginning of the year, if I'm going to have to rely on my information to be from the periodicals or the books that come out, just think of what happened in football. We had predictions Clemson was going to be champion. We had predictions Penn State was going to be champions. We had prediction Texas was going to be champions. And between them, they got 10 losses. But so it's so early now, like you said, the only games I would look to play right now is not going to be, say, a St. Bonaventure game. It would be if Duke was going to be playing Texas and there's a national limelight on the game and there's a number on it. And those are usually the only games that I'm looking at during the college until, maybe late December or January 1st when conference play starts. Because the first 10 games for these teams, they're scheduling, podunk you and somebody they can beat up. The lines are skewed. And that's why I look and wait for, say, the national matchup, maybe a TV game where I can get a feel for what's going on. And I think we need a sample size. I mean, how do we know? Like I said, these magazines all make their predictions, but no one's been on the floor yet. So the chemistry doesn't always turn out the way people think. And college basketball, I think you start easier. I do. You, Sean, may have so much information because I know you do, and you go after and you get it. And you have an opinion on so many of these things. And I just eliminated so many of them because, I can't get the information I need. So I think the beginning part of the season is particularly tough unless you're sitting there out of practice watching the team work out and you know what they're doing.
Duke 7.5 tomorrow over Texas, by the way. So
that is a game tomorrow.
Yeah, Duke Texas tomorrow, 7.5 total, 150.5 there.
Yeah, well, there's a couple
neutral court game.
There are a couple games tonight on TNT. I think Arizona plays somebody.
Arizona's playing Florida, so that's a big matchup. Defending champ Florida and Arizona, and I think the other one is BYU and Villanova. I think. I forget the game.
I know
they're playing in Vegas. They're in Vegas. I think they're playing in UNLV. I think they're playing. There's a game.
Okay.
The Florida Arizona games.
There's plenty of venues out here now. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, listen, I'm all for wiping out half the card. Like you're going to jump into college basketball early, and I do. And again, it's more of all right. I'm gonna head over to Bartovic and Kempom and Haslick and look at these power rated kind of numbers they have. See what the lines are and kind of dig off of those, because like you said, how the heck do you know these guys are going to play? Texas, number 1 team in the country. Well, they just saved their playoff life by winning because otherwise they'd be like Tennessee now, officially eliminated with 3 losses. So I'm with you. You got to kind of find a not a niche, but it's you have a great way to look at it. Like, why are you going to come in here on a Sunday and be like, hey, look, there's 100 games and 40 of them are added games with Campbell. Like I took Campbell today. I'm like, oh, you'll give me 20 points here? I'll take a big chunk of points here, but I get it, Doug. It's tricky.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on board with you guys. I like to go slow. In fact, I've looked it up because I thought this was true. I don't do more than 2 games in any day in November. Okay. In any given day. That's no matter how many there are, that's the most I do. And the other thing I try and do is you're talking about, the ability to watch or learn something. And so I try to watch literally as many games as I can, especially in November, when during the week when you have some time to do that, possibly. And I like to watch every team at least twice or try to in November. So then you'll either get 2 average performances, 1 high, 1 maybe average, or 1 bad and 1 average. So you kind of have a feel of, where the team might be. And a great example of that was last year. Kansas, I don't remember even who they played, Duke or somebody like their first game, or maybe it was Michigan State, crushed them. They rolled them. And then you saw them the next game, it's like, not quite as impressive. Okay. And as turns out, that ended up being what Kansas was, and so that's on that topic, so yeah, I don't like to, let's say long-term deals in terms of teams. I look at Kansas, I look at Duke. I mean, the ACC, is short odds, but I mean, that's, I don't know who else you're going to take, to win the ACC, for example. One team I do like, though, in the ACC this upcoming year is NC State, because they hired Will Wade as their coach. Okay. And Will Wade is a younger Kelvin Sampson, okay, which means he's gotten in a lot of trouble, okay, for doing illegal things early in his career. But the one thing, like Kelvin Sampson, the guy can flat out coach. Okay. He proved that last year. I think was it North Texas he was at last year, I believe. And now he's at NC State, and NC State's going to be really good real quick. And I would, as a thought with them, if you can get NC State as an underdog or a short favorite, I'd take it. I'd take it well into January. Yeah. There's not going to be a ton of those spots, but you're going to be able to get some on those. Another thing, the teams, Florida, can Florida repeat? Yes, they can, but I don't think they will. And the reason I don't think they will, because they don't have Walter Clayton Jr. anymore. Okay. He's gone. Okay. They're going to have a lot of talent. They're going to be really good, but that dude was flat out money, made every big shot that team needed in the tournament. He was fantastic, on that. So, 3 teams. I don't have to go into or actually 4 teams that I don't really like that are brand names going into the year: Creighton, Kansas, Gonzaga, and North Carolina. I'll make it simple. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you, does Houston, the Cougars, I mean, what actually do they have returning this year? Because they really took it to the max last season. I'm just wondering how they're
loaded. They're right there.
They're projected to be one of the top teams again, right?
Without a doubt. Yep.
But they're also, I mean, they only got a couple starters back. Like Purdue's got 4 starters back. Like they're ready to roll out. Houston's got 3 back. They're solid as well.
Isn't it often that teams that have, like, say in football, they have 18 players returning, and so often they just get off to slow starts? I don't know if they anticipate that they're all going to gel later on, or they've already been through this. But I see that happen time and again, where they're veterans, the team is solid coming back, and they just don't quite get to where they had been the previous season.
Well, I like to look at a returning team early, especially the mid or major, the mid-major kind of guys.
Yeah.
And even like your lower team in the ACC or whatever. Like, hey, I got 5 starters back on some rando team in the MAC, and there's nobody back for somebody on Vanderbilt or playing each other. I'm gonna look for that smaller school or even a lower level who's been South Carolina, whatever the 16th team in a 20 league ACC is. You got a bunch of starters back. Those are the teams you want to bet on early. At least for me, that's what I do. Like Texas Tech's got 1 starter back, but they're talented and they're deep. So I could see that, am I going to look to bet them now when they're 36-point favorites over East Texas? Hell no, I'm not doing that. But in March, when they've played for the last 3 months and everything's kind of going, yes, sign me up. And listen, Doug is absolutely right with that NC State team. A lot of people, that is like a team that people are not talking about. And Virginia as well, although I don't know the love for Virginia because they're missed. They got a bunch of new starters, but there's a lot of Virginia love as well. Mm-hmm. And the North Carolina fading, there's like on the little message boards, again, you got, I go to Wacko Land, whether I'm looking at, flat earth or the moon's made out of cheese. What's his name's going to be out of there, their coach. They're looking to move him out. They're looking for a new coach at the end of the year, North Carolina Tar Heels.
Has the NIL had as much effect on the basketball as it does on football?
Yes.
It does. I don't, we see quarterbacks moving. I can't recall big centers going from one place to another or big stars leaving, whereas in football, it just seems to happen every year.
Yeah, no, I don't think the money's quite the same, but there's so many teams, but so, yeah, it definitely plays a part, and you mentioned about North Carolina. I'm on board. I think Hubert Davis is a good, not great coach. And I think the biggest problem that they have lost the identity of the university under, Dean Smith, and then I can't think
Dean
of
Smith.
but they were a big men. They sent a parade of centers and forwards into the NBA, and now Hubert Davis has not recruited the same way, so I think that hurts them. And then one other one that I like and something to look at. Now this is an A10 team. Okay, George Washington. This fits up your alley, Sean. All 5 returning starters. Okay, for George Washington, third best odds in the A10. The other 2 teams ahead of them, VCU, and I forget the other one, Dayton. And well, first of all, I don't like the Dayton coach, so that's an easy one for me. But VCU always has talent, so that's a. But I think George Washington, no longer the Colonials or the Colonels, they are now the Revolutionaries. Just so you know that for nicknames. So George Washington, though, would be a team I would look at if you want to make a bet on a team that's at a decent, I think it's 370 or something like that. I like that one.
There's a good one there for, I didn't look, I'm surprised I didn't pull that one up out of my hat there for a GW. Now I got to pull up the A10 here to look at who's ahead of them.
Yeah, it's VCU and Dayton. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, are the 2 teams ahead. So, and then and with Chip, what you said, both of you said, sometimes you bring back all the starters. But one of the things that happens, and more so in football, but even in basketball to a degree, is that there's usually a senior player that is the glue guy for the team. Okay, he keeps everybody in line. He's the leader of the team, and if you lose that guy, is that who steps up? Like in football, you could have 18 returning guys, but if you had a half a dozen seniors that either were starters or played key roles on the team, and in terms of leadership in the locker room, those guys go. Sometimes there's nobody to replace them, and that's typically what the scenario ends up being, is a lack of leadership. And so that's why it's important to have those senior guys, and especially if they're a guard.
And back to your GW team, starters back. And again, what I like to look at when I'm jumping into November, December basketball, the guard play. You got good guard play is the most important. Even if I got like 2 or 3 starters back, do I have both guards? Right? Do I got my, the point guard who's ever running the show is the number one kind of thing I kind of look at. You have to. And is he under is he under the same coach? Has he been there for, guys been there, a lot of these mid-major guys, they're there for 15 years. Like, oh, another season of this guy here, that's one of my things I look at there. But the George Washington, here they are. They got the number 2 backcourt here, the number 3 front court here for the A10. Always good again. But like Chip said, you open up your little magazine, people are wrong, right? I mean, Texas, Penn State, and Clemson will all want to come to the window here and be like, wait a second here. And the fact, Creighton is a team that's thought to be like a top 25 team, and you're like, no, fade Creighton.
Yeah, I mean, because they don't play defense. I mean, that you mentioned about the other thing Chip mentioned. He mentioned no money. And I think like Creighton, Kansas, and Gonzaga have been hurt by that because veteran coaches have not adjusted to how this works. And I think that's the example of all 3 guys. And like you mentioned, Gonzaga hasn't had, that when they went to the Final Four, I think it was two years in a row, they had great guards. Okay. They don't anymore. They still have good big guys that can play, but their guard play just isn't the same. And that's what's changed with these programs is these coaches just not have adjusted because they're used to getting guys and developing them. And that's no longer how it works as much anymore.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people on Queens today. It was like 3.5, 4.5, 5. And a lot of people jumped on Queens. And this is a spot I could see why a lot of people go on them. They're thought to be the best team in the A-Sun, right? You got some experience back. You're like, and again, when I look at Ohio Valley, the number 1 team, the number 2 team, I'm going to look to take them versus other teams when they're an underdog, especially like if you play Wolford, thinking, all right, that's a similar kind of team. I mean, Wolford's better. Obviously, they won the cover today. But you're thinking you got a shot here to cover this kind of number, right? I'm the best team in my conference. Even though I'm a step below you, I'm going to come and attack. Doesn't know, not a good spot there for them. But I think Jacksonville, I believe, is playing Miami, Florida, and they're getting a bunch of points here. I would take Jacksonville here versus the Hurricanes.
You think Artis Gilmore is making a comeback?
Listen, I'm a Cane guy. This basketball team is bad. This program is dropped. I'm trying to find the line here for Miami. I thought they were playing it.
Boy, Miami had some kind of year last year, didn't they? People were hurt. I mean, it was really a bad season, terrible season. And then Larinaga was one of the better coaches too, and he just couldn't get anything to put together.
18.5-point favorites here over Jacksonville. The Hurricanes are today.
Hey, wait.
Go ahead.
Two quick thoughts. Number one, when you're 73, do you really want to be called Ricky? Okay. I don't know. It's like somebody called
Ricky
me Dougie.
Latino?
I had an aunt that called me Dougie when I was a kid, and she called me that until she died, and I hated it. Okay. So it's like, no, drop that, please. That's no good. One thing of interest though today, I don't know if Sean, if you picked up on this. I took a game from there, and I did this specifically for this reason. The Sun Belt and the MAC are playing each other 13 games today. Now, last year, all the games, Sun Belt had all the home games last year. The MAC has all the home games this year. I think that's kind of a novel, approach to start the season, kind of fun. And so that's why I honed in, and I just took one game out of the 13, but I honed in on that just to, you talk about trying to narrow down something. That for me, at least, made it a lot easier just to kind of go with that, because then you could look at the teams and get some power ratings and put something together that way, at least, and kind of go from there.
It's good that the smaller conference does something like that, right? We have trouble scheduling people, right? No one wants to go play, Duke or whoever. I don't want to play some upstart out of the MAC or the Sun Belt, because it's just bad. God forbid we lose. Right. It crushes us. It's not a quad. It's not a quad 2 win. It's not a quad 3 win. It's maybe a quad 4 or something. So, but good for the little mid majors. They do their little thing here, because eventually, let's be honest, it'll be the 3 big dogs and then everybody else in some kind of minor arena league or something here.
Well, it's like the WAC. The WAC is almost gone. I mean, what are they down to 7 teams? I think. And so those other teams are going to have to go somewhere else because they have no future, just like what happened to the WAC in football.
I was going to say, what's happening to Pac-10 or Pac-12 in basketball? I mean, we know there's only 2 teams in football.
Well, there's a new league next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Football and
they got some of the Mountain West in there. And again, I think some of the Big West, you got the Big West teams, you can move into some of those spots. Mountain West teams, you can make a good Pac-12. First of all, Cal and those teams should come back anyway. Mean, stupid. UCLA, USC, they got to be like, you know what? We effed up, bro. This is terrible. I mean, Oregon looks like they could play in those conferences for football. But it's just terrible.
How does the team go from the Pac-12 to the Atlantic Coast Conference? Stanford. I mean, come on. I don't get it.
Money.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Right?
That's all it is.
Chip had brought up the Hurricanes' great 3-17 season last year. Nobody back. So
they'll go 17-3.
This is kind of like a team that's like, wait, we got a bunch of starters back from last year's team, right? We got a total of, we got 50 lettermen back for football, but we were a 2-win team last year, and we got 9 guys back on both sides of the ball. Is that good or bad? Because your team was so bad. Are they going to improve? Like basketball, it's good. It's 4 guys. It's 5 guys. It's guys who actually can control your outcome. Maybe you improve. Miami's got nobody back, right? Is this a addition by subtraction, right? Because, hey, they were that bad last year, so maybe the guys on the bench do a little better. Those are kind of things you look at. Well, Okay, they got nobody back, but they were so bad. It might be a good thing that nobody's back.
Well, that's, they say you got good news and bad news. You got good news. We got 5 guys returning, but they're the same guys we had last year. So
Yes.
what are you going to do?
Yep.
We brushed on some of the futures. I kind of like tech in the long run because I want to grab something here for people to bet. But I am not one to jump into conference to wins. I like baseball win totals because it's a long season, it's fun. I don't think. I mean, at least me to tie up your money that long, you either got to really like it, or you're a fan of the team or something, or you're a serious kind of pro, and you're moving a decent chunk of money, and I mean like minimum like $5 or $10 to get wrapped into a November 3rd. I'm going to jump into somebody to win the Sun Belt, the ACC, the Big Ten. I'm not doing that. That's just me. I know some people do. I don't.
No, I was going to say a lot of the professionals out here that I've made acquaintance with, they like playing the futures, and they toward the end of the season they're always looking to hedge, but they do. I was surprised that they play as many futures as they do.
But you just brought up a good point. That is like the pro person is gonna make a move on a number because down the road he could adjust on that and make a little something on it.
Yeah.
The average person, let's be honest, they're not betting college football for Saturday today. They're not. They're worried about college basketball and NBA today. Tomorrow they'll worry about whatever's tomorrow. They're not looking to hedge out or to make a small profit on something. Well, I can make X. They don't want to make that.
I agree. I don't like the idea of the company or whatever league we have holding my action for 6-8 months until I can get a result on the full season. So
you're saying it's like an interest-free loan. I mean, really, they could take the money on it and put it into they could go out and buy something with it. It's like just
unless you have a lot of capital to work with, and it's just part of your daily.
Well, listen, I do a lot of baseball totals for season long, but they're also don't time me up because they're credit shops. So that's they're easy to do them long on the season totals.
Well, yeah, well, you're also working with you actually have a comparable amount of teams. They're all professional athletes. Okay, yes. Baseball. So versus with college, I mean, there's such a variation. To me, if you're going to make bets to win conferences, wait till early November before there's any conference games played. But then you probably have 7 games or so that you would have had the ability to have numbers to see how they've done. Yes, it's against variable competition.
Yes,
that's the way to go to me.
Yeah. Again, for me, I'm not wrapping into the college future market. Again, I grabbed a Florida championship last year, like the end of December, when they were kind of getting a little buzz, like people talking about them. Will I do something like that this year? Possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody gets a little excited, like, "Ooh, I kind of like the way this team's playing." Again, I still like Texas Tech because they're going to be a good team. They'll give Kansas a little run. Again, Kansas bringing back a bunch of new people in that program, but that's not a rebuild. Those are reload kind of schools.
Well, Houston's a favorite, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't know how they're going to play out. Wait on these things. Again, I'm sure people are thinking we're going to come in here and give out a future conference winner and all the count. I'm not doing that. I couldn't in good favor do that, especially when I'm not putting my own money on that thing in November here. That's just the wrong thing to do. Maybe some videos do that. I'm not going to do that to you. And these two cats, I'm definitely not going to do that to you. Especially Chip. He's like, come on, bro. He's like, hey, college basketball. He's still licking his chops over a great baseball season here. He doesn't worry about college basketball on a Monday, right?
Hey, speaking of that, hey, what are the future odds on the Yankees today? I'm kidding.
Is Cole going to be healthy? They'll have a staff, but they still can't pick up a ground ball.
You got to move him to like maybe the 2 spot. Like Fried should be the 1.
Yep.
If you want to put Cole 2, Rodon 3, what do you say? No to who?
No, don't start talking about the Yankees. Give it up.
Why?
Stop it. Swatting you
I'll
away.
tell you what. I'll tell you what. Scooble, if the Orioles want to get back in the mix, they trade a bunch of their young bats and get Scooble to lead that rotation.
So look at his Scooble. If you got a 1-run lead in the playoff game and you take him out in the 6th inning because he's thrown 99 pitches, I mean, to me, it's useless. I mean, honestly, I mean, come on. This is the best pitcher in baseball. You got to leave him out there till his arm falls off, and you see Dave Dravecky coming off the mound because leaving him out there. I mean, taking him out in a game like that is absolutely absurd. So if he goes to Baltimore, is he going to pitch 6 innings?
Dave Javecki's arm actually broke on the mound. He threw a pitch, heard it snap.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was sad, wasn't it? Oh, wow.
Oh. And on that happy note,
he's gone now.
On that happy note, I'm going to say here, I'm glad you brought up NC State because I was going to bring up NC State and Virginia has two kind of teams in the ACC. I guess maybe it was the same kind of rhythm we saw on Twitter about the ACC or something because my mind was on the same thing. North Carolina State is definitely a play-on kind of team. You're going to get some good value on those guys. You're definitely getting some kind of good value on the little NC State bunch.
And I like George Washington to win the A-10. I'm official on that one. So give me that.
I had a cough there. Excuse me for my coughing offline there. I'm trying to think of like a smaller kind of squad.
Well, there's a lot of places don't have odds.
Sure, you should let it come to you. Rather, I find that it works a lot better when you go searching, looking for something. I'd rather look at it and just have it. All of a sudden, it hits you, it comes to you. If you know what I'm saying, what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean,
For sure. But like I grabbed a couple dogs today, like Bethune-Cookman. Getting a big chunk. Like this is a little small.
How big's their tallest player?
They probably got like a 6'8" guy.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Do you know his name?
No, why would I know names? I don't know. I don't know names of guys in the NFL. I'm definitely not going to know
Believe me,
guys in college basketball.
Or a better question is, and I don't know this answer either. What is Bethune-Cookman's nickname?
Well, see, now you got jokes on me here, huh?
Do you know, Doug?
No, I don't. I'm usually really good with those, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, you should play that trivia. You stumped me right here because I
They're
love
the
that.
Wildcats.
What is it?
The Wildcats.
Wildcats are pretty tame. Yeah.
Yeah, too.
So Reggie Theus is the coach. Reggie Theus.
Really?
Cookman. How about that?
Oh,
did not know that.
A Vegas guy.
Last year they were in their little SWAC or wherever they were, conference, whatever, in the finals. A nice little solid team. I think, again, they're catching 25 today. They'll be huge dogs. And a lot of these teams, they go out on the road and pick up their $250,000 losses, right? You're going to see a lot of these teams, Mississippi Valley, 0-19, right? And they're like, oh, my goodness, this team's terrible. Because they go out on the road for a month straight and play everybody in the SEC and the ACC and just get walloped. But they might collect
a couple million, $2 or $3 million for the basketball program.
And then they're going to come back into their conference play, and that's where we're going to make our money. But it's just, again, Bethune-Cookman, you want to look at for the next month or two here as a little dog, like Chips rolls out. Like, what are you talking? 25.5 versus Auburn? I'll take it.
You told me the top guy was 6'8", you think?
Yeah, who cares about how tall the guy is?
Hey, Calvin Murphy didn't bother him.
What's height? You mean Muggsy Bogues? Come on, Spud Webb.
Monty Tao. Yeah.
Bunch of 5'5" guys. They'll be fine. All right, we're going to wrap this up here. NC State as a little bigger school to look at as a underdog, even a favorite, a team that we think is going to be good. At least 2 out of 3 of us think it's going to be good. Right? Chip's not so.
I'm waiting to make a decision here. I want to be well informed.
He's like, I'm kicking ass in college in NBA. I don't worry about this college nonsense. I'll see you in March when the tournament comes around. That's the way I'll get my fill. NC State, and here we go, Bethune-Cookman, the Wildcats. There you go. Pair of care of little teams you want to look at for the next month or two, well, I'm sure you'll leave a comment if they lose, especially today. But that's all right. The season is not one game for me. It's about 850 games for me. For sale, anything, gentlemen. Chip, what do you got rolling on for today and for the week?
Yeah, we got the Monday night game, of course, and we're just getting underway, of course, with the NBA. Nice big winner yesterday, but with 4-0 Saturday, college is going great, and hit our big game on Saturday and Sunday. So NFL tonight, I feel very confident with the Cardinals and Cowboys, and just take it a day at a time. I mean, it's just a grind. We're starting the basketball season now. We have college and pros, and there's a lot of work in front of us.
There you go. Get all the Chip's top plays at gamblersworld.net. Whether it's NBA, a rare college basketball, college football, and NFL for sure, at Gamblers World for Chip. Doug, what do you got?
I got the Sun Belt MAC game. I got the top play of the day, so that's going today, and that's at a reduced price on that one. And then NBA. Oh, and by the way, college basketball. I closed last year 56-31. So had a strong finish. Looked to pick up where I left off and do that. Right. And then NBA, I've hit 3 of the last 4, and I got a play tonight going in the NBA in a strong system that is nearly 80%. So looking to cash another one there, and then just move along. Okay, we got tomorrow. We got about probably 12 hockey games, so for sure there's going to be one out of there. We'll get it going.
Hockey.
I like the Kraken in regulation today on the ice, Doug. -105. I like the Kraken.
Yeah. Okay.
They took 10 shots in regulation yesterday or on Saturday. 10 shots in a game.
Wow.
So you have a performance like that. I'm sure the coach is like, I don't care what you're doing, just shoot the damn puck. We can't win. We can't win if we're not scoring. Right. We got to shoot.
Did they all have the stick? Were all their sticks broke? Is that what it was?
I have no idea what they're doing out there.
That's pretty bad. Yeah.
And they went to overtime. They ended up, I think, with 12 in overtime total.
That's not good.
No, it's not.
Well, the game goes overtime, and they only had 10 shots on goal.
I think 13 for the entire game.
Wow.
That's
And they're 150 faves today.
Hey, and if we keep this show going much longer, we can just roll right into the Monday night football preview.
Yeah. Let's go. Monday night. I do have a Monday night game up. Go get it. College basketball, NFL, college football, whatever. Go get the weekly 7-day special. There you go. That's that.
Get Sean's all his picks for today, because that's like a week's worth for everybody else. So that's the better way to go.
Yeah, you got a bunch up there. We got like 10 games up. We got a few games up. We'll see how we do. Don't jinx me here. Come on here. That was last year. Last year's year. I want to be as good, but you know what? You can't always rely on that. That's a good starting point, right? You think you're feeling good. I saw the board great. Let's keep it going. That's all we could hope for when we're betting games. But for Doug, Chip, and myself, gamblersworld.net for all our best top plays. Hit the like an hour. This is one of the longest ones we've ever done here. So, gentlemen, have a good day. Those watching you, thank you. Back tomorrow with Matt Fargo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.